Howdy, howdy everyone, Chris here. On a previous episode of Garage Noise, we repaired a dent in this Ford F-150 bedside. I shared with you how to pull and shape the metal, and then we filled it with some body filler. We block sanded it smooth, and we got it primered and ready to be prepped out for some paint. Today I share how you can prep and paint your vehicle at home and still achieve amazing results. I went ahead and applied 2 coats of 2K urethane primer over this filler in our repair area, and that's important because the 2K urethane primer is going to harden over the repair area. It seals off the body filler from your paint and your clear coat, keeps that from soaking in. It also provides material that can be block sanded in order to create a perfectly straight panel. Before I start block sanding this repair area, I'm going to mark off our body lines. We've already shaped these lines and created them, but I want to refine them just a little bit so they're perfectly OEM. I'll use my body line tool here in order to create an accurate guide to refine these body lines. I start at the top where I know the body line is good and hasn't been damaged, and I'll adjust the tool from the wheel opening to that body line and then trace down to give us an accurate guide for our blocking. I'll use a roll of 3/4 inch tape and I'll tape right on that line all the way down the bedside. This allows us to block right up to that tape edge without affecting our body line. Now I'm going to apply a powdered guide coat over this entire repair area. This is going to allow us to see any low areas or any imperfections or texture that we still have in our primer as we're blocking it out. It's very important to work through your progressions of sandpaper. We started blocking this filler with 80, then we moved to 180, and now that it's in primer, we're going to block it with 320 and then 600 grit. Now I'm going to reverse my tape and tape on the other side of that body line and block that flat wheel opening edge. I'll go ahead and do the same thing on this front repair. I'll mark it off with my body line tool. We'll block sand it. We'll put some guide coat on it to make sure everything's nice and smooth and straight. I'm blocking this primer with 320 grit sandpaper. If it's in primer, I'm going to either use 320 or 600. I want to keep those scratches as fine as possible. Now I am applying another coat of primer over this. This is just like a kind of like an insurance coat. I want to get it covered one more time before we do the whole prep, and then we can just sand over this with some 600, smooth it out, and we'll be ready to paint. I've been testing out a new primer for you guys. This is the upol 2K primer. This is a direct to metal primer, so if you have any bare areas, then this will cover it and adhere properly. This is a high build primer. It's a little bit thicker than the Roberlo ME1, but it sands just as easy and it fills just as well. Now I'm going to prep out the rest of this bedside for paint and clear coat, and what I'm using is my orbital sander with an interface pad. This is a soft foam pad that'll move with the contours of the panel. I'm using 600 grit sandpaper to smooth out these panels. We want to knock off all the shine on this panel so we have good adhesion for our paint and our clear coat. Now we're just painting the primered areas, and then the rest of this is going to be clear coated. Now 600 grit scratch is fine enough that it's not going to allow any scratches to show through your clear coat. Excuse me, I'm using 800 grit sandpaper here, but you could use 600 or 800. And you could also sand this by hand if you don't have an orbital sander or a palm sander. And right now I'm just doing the large areas with the orbital sander. I don't want to go close to any edges. I'm going to do all those by hand because we have some moldings and some trim we're going to go around. So for that, I'm going to use this soft foam pad. This is, I believe this is 600 here, but 600 or 800 will work fine. You want to knock off the shine. I want to get underneath that cap. Make sure that's sanded well so we have good adhesion with our clear coat. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to take this cap all the way off because it has a mechanical bed liner that was very difficult to remove. So we were able to pop it loose so we could get clear coat underneath that cap, and that'll work perfectly. It's always going to be best to remove as much of your trim as possible. You can see we removed the tail light. Any moldings or any trim pieces we removed so we have good adhesion for our clear coat. We're not painting and clearing right up against a molding or something of that nature. That's going to create an opportunity for the clear coat to peel down the road. Okay, now we're going to prep this out for paint. We've got the whole panel prepped out for paint. We're going to prep out the primer by blocking it quickly with some 320 grit sandpaper. Now we've got this. This is our second coat of primer. So we've got this pretty much blocked straight. I just want to go over it slightly with some 320, and then we'll go over these primer areas with the orbital sander and some 600 grit sandpaper. So we've got our flexible block here with some 320 grit on it. I hope you're finding this video helpful so far. If you are and want to help support the channel, all you have to do is like this video and leave me a comment down below. If you're looking for tools or products for your repair, check out my storefront link down in the description. There I have all the products and tools I use, organized and easy to find. Now we're ready to mask off this bedside, but before we do, we want to blow this bedside off really well, blow out all the nooks and crannies, eliminate all that dust, and then wash it with some wax and grease remover or some isopropyl alcohol. I like to use isopropyl alcohol right before I paint. That helps eliminate static, which attracts dust to your paint job. And if you're looking for a video that's going to help you get cleaner paint jobs, check out the link I have at the end. I have a video devoted to this topic. It'll help you out if you're doing a repair or a paint job at home. Here I'm using some foam tape to mask off my door gaps and my tailgate gap here. I like to use this foam tape. It's easy to use and it eliminates overspray from getting in those jams. I'll also be using the foam tape on the front edge of this bedside just to make it quick and easy to mask off. So let's go ahead and finish up masking this. Then we'll talk about the paint gun we're using and the clear coat. Listen, for your chance to win a Garage Noise t-shirt, all you have to do is like this video and then comment down below, hashtag build your skill. And then 1 week from today, we'll go ahead and pick a winner at random. Now it's time to lay down some clear coat. And the clear coat we're using today is the Finish One FC710. This is a spot panel clear. It mixes up 4-to-1. That's 4 parts clear coat, 1 part activator. And this is a fast drying clear. It is a really hot temperature today, but we are only doing 1 panel, so this is going to work perfectly. Now, it's important that you use an activator that's suited for the temperature that you're spraying in. So if you're in a real hot temperature like it is today, I think it's near 95 degrees, then you want a slow activator. That's going to allow that clear coat to dry just a little bit slower and let it flow out just a little bit better so you get a smoother, flat finish. When you're spraying clear, you want to be 6 to 8 inches away from the panel. I spray usually about 5 to 6 inches away. You want to overlap 70% on your passes so you have uniform coverage of clear. You want to have a consistent speed and a consistent distance from the panel. So you don't want to be moving in closer and farther away. You want to be consistently the same distance from the panel the entire time. This is going to give you the best results possible. As far as the gun settings on this Iwata Kiwami 4, which is a fantastic gun, by the way, and it's a very reasonable price on this gun. I think I last saw it on Amazon for $188, which is a real steal for this gun. This is a pro gun right here. These settings, I have the volume wide open. So the material, that's the material that's coming out of the gun, is the volume, and I have it wide open. I have my fan pattern wide open as well. My air pressure is set at 28 PSI. If you've got the gun set up properly and you're using the proper technique, there's no reason why you can't get a beautiful looking finish. And if you have some imperfections in your finish or you have a little bit more texture than you would like, then there's ways to correct that, and I could show you exactly how to do that. I'll leave a video link at the end how to cut and buff any imperfections out of your clear coat. Don't be concerned if your clear coat's not absolutely perfect after the first coat. You could have a few little dry areas, maybe a little bit more texture than you like. Don't be concerned because the first coat of clear, we're just introducing that clear to the surface. It's kind of like the glue, and now we're going to apply a second coat, and we want that clear coat to flow out on the second coat. So we're going to slow down just a little bit, let more material land on the panel, and let it flow out just a little bit better, especially on a hot day like today. I'm really slowing down a bit to let this clear flow. Now this gun uses a little bit more air, so if you've got a smaller compressor at home, you may be wanting a low CFM paint gun, and if you want to check out a review and demo I did on one, I will leave a link to a video at the end that works perfect for small compressors. Let's finish this last coat of clear and then take a look at the finished product.